Hello and welcome to another episode on Maros Bonsai channel. Today I'm going to work a little bit on this ash. This is Fraxinus ornus collected by myself back in most probably 2011. You can see the development of this tree on the pictures right now. It was collected from stone quarry, abandoned stone quarry, where it was sitting on the edge of the quarry and risking its life, almost falling down. So I saved it. As you can see on the pictures, it was just right on the edge. And I've seen back then when I was there a couple other trees which were slowly falling down from this edge of the quarry due to erosion. I'm developing this tree in naturalistic style. You may have seen, I think, one or two videos before. I'm putting all those link to all the videos into description. Originally, the tree consisted only from this trunk and this sub-trunk, which ended here. You can see the chop here, which is still not healed. Now this year I started to aggressively reworking this scar to enhance and speed up the process of healing of remaining scars. And this was one part, this was second part, and everything what is in my hand was here and the rest was grown. So I'm trying to grow it in this kind of upright fashion, and I think maybe I can pull some of those branches down. I'm doing it regularly, but last year I had this tree on exhibition, so as a matter of fact, it's not really clever to bring the tree to exhibition with guy wires. So I removed all the guy wires before exhibition, and then it stayed without any wiring. So now it's time to maybe go through the junctions, cut some of the very long or longer internodes, do some kind of necessary maintenance, and maybe we can talk about this later. As we talk about healing, also this scar was carved this year, and it was sealed. Unfortunately, it was very low, very close to the surface, and most probably it fell off. The sealant fell off from here, but it's almost healed. Also, this sealant fell off, which means that it's healing very slowly. I will check those bigger wounds here, and we will see how it's going. Obviously, in the spring, these scars needs to be reopened, carved, the periphery of the scar with very sharp knife. This is my favorite tool for that. This kind of bended knife, which is allowing me to reach this kind of deeper parts of the wound, resealing it, and maybe in the next maybe 1 or 2 years it will be healed completely. As you know, the ashes traditionally have very big leaves. With this kind of dense ramification, which you can achieve on ash tree with really aggressive pruning back, the ash usually has apical bud like this one, or any of those black buds. If you have really big, let's say, branch, on bigger branches, typically these apical buds are really big. You have to cut them away, prune back the branches. There are a lot of sleeping buds on every branch. It's very dense. It's growing. It's back budding on older wood as well without any problem. So with this kind of very dense ramification, the foliage becomes very small, not like super small like Chinese elm, but still very small compared to what this tree originally had. If you can see it on older pictures where the foliage is on this sparse branching, really big, like 15 centimeters per leaf. Now the leaves are gone, but you can see the older pictures from autumn with a fantastic autumn foliage. This tree is spectacular. If we are speaking about autumn foliage, this is something amazing what ashes can achieve. Both my ashes were really great this autumn because the negative temperatures were very, very late. Up until, let's say, 2 weeks ago, we had almost no minus temperatures, so foliage was very long on a tree and showcased really beautiful colors. So that's all about this tree. I'm going to work a little bit on this, and as usual, in case I will have anything important which I would like to emphasize or point your attention to, I will obviously do that. So that's it. Also, if you look at the older pictures, how the tree ended somewhere here. So I grew new segment of the apex. This one for first year or two, second one, third one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Yeah. So at each change of the leader, there is a new branch which is going, and more like traditional outside of the band. It's not about tradition, but about what looks good on a tree or not. So this is first segment which was grown. You still can see the remaining wound here, very small. The branch which is exiting from here into this direction. This is the second leader which was grown back into this direction. Wound still visible here, sealed this here. This is a little bit longer, again, branch, very young one, weak one, which is growing from this direction. Again, wired into some kind of position back into this side. The branch exiting from this point, going back here, another segment, and this is the apex area. More or less, this is the final height of the tree. So all this must be solved on this kind of floor plan, not really very much bigger crown. So everything what is here is most probably staying here. Just need to play with the branches, make sure that the crown is not too dense, not too sparse, something in between, so the important parts of a trunk are visible and the tree looks good and pleasing with foliage, but also, which is most important with deciduous tree, it must look good now in winter time when all branches are visible, all the foliage is gone. Now is the time when you are facing the reality of your work, and it's visible how well you are managing the creation of the ramification and structure of the tree. I'm going to pull the background down so I can look at it. The tree, as always, as a tree in my collection, usually as I'm trying to achieve at least two really good sides and fronts. I think this is the best front of this tree because the big wound on the main trunk is not visible. It's hidden from this side because it's angled. But if we look on a tree from this side, maybe it looks same or a little bit better, but still the wound is visible there. There will be a time, maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, when the main wound on a main trunk will be healed completely, and this probably will be equally good front. Of course, it still looks good if you rotate it a little bit like this, a little bit like this. It's still, it's three-dimensional sculpture, and it looks, I think, really good from many positions. So I will rotate it for you so you can see it clearly. Oh, that's it. I'm going to introduce the steel wires or copper wires here and make a couple guy wires pulling those branches more down, and we will see how it will look like. So I have 3 anchoring points here. Maybe I will do the same on this side. I'm using the steel wire for this because it's not bending I'm trying to puncture through the substrate of the tree. Of course, you will not able to go through. So I have 5 anchoring points, which is just enough. So I start from the bottom, from this side, and I try to pull few of them down. I don't need really thick wire for this, so I use the 0.8. So how it looks like now. Yeah, it's much better, I think. Still needs to do a little bit here on this side. it looks like I'm slowly coming to finish for today. What I wanted to do is to check the wounds. So I just quickly look at this one. It's not healed. So it's not good time to do that. I'm going to open those wounds. So about 4 or 5 wounds. I'm going to open them in the spring before the leaves are here until I have good access into the crown. I will scratch the callus, so the healing process will restart and will accelerate, and in the spring I will show you how they look like now. The top looks like it's really flat, except this part. It's really pointy, so I have to be very careful and not let this apex part to grow too much. And I want this to have more roundish. That's why I was pulling them down. So it's kind of more round crown with more growth here in this side. That's why I also was forcing those branches to go here. So it's not really flat, but it's 3D. And I want these small branches to grow a little bit longer to make a thicker crown. So it's maybe oval. Yeah, it must be oval because it's 2 sub-trunks. The main trunk here and the secondary trunk going into that direction. It must be somewhat oval with maybe higher point somewhere here, because this is obviously the apex section. So this is it for today. That's all from my workshop with today ash session. And in case you have any questions regarding ash, this is Fraxinus ornus. In Europe we have also Fraxinus excelsior, which are 2 most common species of ashes. I have a little bit of experience. In case you would like to help with your tree, feel free to ask in the comment section or use the community page, which is working already. If you have your tree and you would like to have some kind of my opinion or help with design or with any other thing regarding your ash tree, feel free to post there. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.